Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you are new around here, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. I do appreciate you guys being here. If you're new, welcome. My name is Shalise. I'm a mother, a wife. I'm 38 and I love investing. I love wealth building. My husband and I started at age 30, so we did not start young, but we were able to achieve millionaire status in less than 10 years. In today's video, I'm going to touch on that a little bit. I'm going to share with you 12, I don't want to say secret steps, but 12 steps we did, 12 numbers you need to know that helped us to become millionaires, or that could help you also to grow your wealth. I know a lot of times you'll go on social media or just anywhere and it'll say, invest in stocks to grow wealth, or do this to get rich, or this is what, millionaires did. But this video will give you 12 of the in-between steps, or 12 numbers that you need to really know and focus on while on your journey. Now, these steps are in no particular order. They're not ranked from, best to worst or anything like that. They're really randomly ranked. I just wanted to make sure I notated everything down. So I really am excited to share with you. But just in a nutshell, from our journey, we started in $75,000 of debt when we first started. We're at $1.2 million right now. What we did, we increased our income. You got to increase your salary. Work hard at your job, do your best, but always remember to put yourself first. If a job is not, treating you in the way that you need to be treated, it is okay to move companies, okay? Also career fields, biotech, pharma, finance. That's what we did, okay? They pay really, really well, really, really good bonuses, stocks in the company, benefits. That helps a whole lot. Another thing that you want to do is when you're getting your big bonuses or raises like we did, put that money to work. Buy some assets, real estate, stocks, invest in your long-term retirement, get your emergency fund off, and then also liability side, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. You want to make sure that you pay down your high consumer debt and keep it off. That is what we did, and we did it over several years, and that's what happened. And we own 3 homes, by the way, just in case you wanted to know. So let's talk about the 12 different steps, numbers you need to know. And this is coming from a millionaire who do not come from money. I want to make that clear. I don't come from money, but I think what I just shared with you a few seconds ago about being strategic about your career paths and your finances, you can do it, okay? And so the first thing is your taxes. So this is something we learned through our CPA and tax person, is that the reason why a lot of millionaires and billionaires pay so little tax is because they hire professionals like CPAs and have tax accountants and lawyers to make sure that they pay just what they need to legally pay and not a penny over. And because they have other assets like businesses and like investments, they're able to write off so much. They're able to have so many credits and deductions, so they actually pay little. But the average person don't know how much they pay in taxes. So go to your recent filing of your tax return and it'll tell you there how much you paid in taxes for the previous year. You can also get a tax person. Fun fact, my husband and I for 2022 paid about 24% in taxes, and this is on multiple 6-figure income, okay? The next thing you need to know is your credit score, okay? So credit was something that I was really, I think, lacking in understanding. Now, I got into a lot of credit card debt. Like when my husband and I, in our early parts of our marriage, I was the one carrying a whole lot of the credit card debt. Shopping, buying purses, shoes, clothes, going out, all that good stuff. And I would just swipe that card. But I didn't know that, understanding how to use credit was just as important as investing, okay? If you want to buy a house, you need to know your credit score. Some jobs require them to check your credit. I could tell you, if you want to rent in a good condo or apartment building or house, as a landlord, we check credit. Now, it's not the only thing we look at, but we do check your credit. And so knowing how to approach credit wisely, again, this is something I wish I understood when I was in my early 20s. But I know now. And so I'm passing on this knowledge to all of you. And I'm able to do that to my daughter. My daughter will be 17 in a few months. She has had a gold Amex credit card for about a year now. I think it's been about a year, or almost a year. And we're teaching her the value of having good credit and getting into those habits about paying off anything you charge. You need to get on your phone, get on your banking app, and switch your money from your checking account to pay the, whatever you just swiped that day on your credit card. And what it's doing is helping her to get good credit as well. So when she becomes a young woman, she's able to, get the best interest rate possible. Okay. Another step or number that we had to know is our emergency fund number. When you are building wealth, especially in this day and age, especially with a recession that's already here, it's not coming, it's here, and high inflation, you need to have an emergency fund and you need to know your emergency fund number. Well, in order to know that number, you have to write down all of your expenses, because how do you know what to save for? How do you know what to make your goal if you don't even know your expenses? And yes, it may be hard. I've shared on the channel before that I spent a weekend when we first started on this journey, like 2 days going over all of our numbers, and I cried. I cried because I had no clue our finances were the way that they were. I mean, I thought I had a number in my mind, like, okay, this is where we were. But until I pulled the numbers, I had no idea. It was worse than what we thought, but we knew where we were starting from. So, you need to have an emergency fund and you need to build towards it. I always say start with 1 month, then 3, then 6, and then you can move on to 9 months and then a year. But you need to have an emergency fund and you need to know the number. Another step that we had to go through on this wealth building journey, especially in terms of numbers, is your net worth. I talk about net worth on the channel and actually just shared ours. Our current net worth at the end of March, so the previous month, was about 1.2 million and some change. As you grow your net worth, the number gets larger. So just 1.2 million is where we are right now. And our net worth from January 1st of this year to the end of March grew by over $45,000. I think it was like 46,000 or something like that. But in 3 months, it increased over $45,000, which is insane. Which again, you want to buy assets and you want to hold them. Real estate is good. Again, stocks. I'm always talking about investing in the stock market. I come on here and share portfolio updates, which I have one coming out soon. Every single month, when the market is up, I share. When the market is down, I share the portfolio updates, because if you do it over a long period of time, overall, you will win. Okay. The next number you need to know, and this kind of go along with net worth, is your retirement number or your FI number, or financial independence, right? This is the number you need to know so you know what to work towards, right? So a lot of us are investing. A lot of us are buying real estate. A lot of us are doing all the good stuff. But what's your goal? What's the target number that you're working towards, so you know when to stop? So you need to understand, okay, this is how I can structure my portfolio so that I can get to my number. I can tell you our retirement number is $3 million. The stretch one is $5 million net worth. We're currently at 1.2 million, and actually have some things. Look right here. So this is the investing challenge book. So many of you who say, you know what, I don't have a lot of money to invest, $1 a day. You can also do 25 cents a day, 50 cents a day, or $2 a day. So you have that. The book of dividends. This is what I use to track every single dividend. I know many of you have this book, so thank you so much for supporting me. But again, you want to know your numbers. This is how you get there. The next thing I have is a wealth workbook. This is estate planning. This is important. The Roth IRAs. This is another important thing. What about savings challenges, so that you can slowly save up, like right here for your living will and different things. It's in this book. And then investing workbook. This is my, investor's copy or my author's copy. But in here, I share with you guys, what are blue chip stocks? What are expense ratios? What are dividends? Things like that. So all of these books are available down below. And I created all of these books myself. But again, it'll help you to get to these numbers. It'll help you to track your progress. So I share with you our retirement number. Leave me yours down below, okay? If you don't know, you have some homework, okay? And if you need some extra help, that's why I created these things. The next step that we had to really figure out, and this, I kind of touched on this a little bit, is your monthly expenses. A lot of people, monthly expenses and monthly income, because sometimes you don't have an expenses problem, you have an income problem. Sometimes you just need to make a little bit more money, right? Because things are just going up so much. But also, excuse me, guys, on the inverse, sometimes you don't have an income problem. Sometimes you have an expense problem. Sometimes we just have too many expenses, and sometimes we don't want to cut them because we think, oh, we're going to need the gym membership. If you haven't been to the gym in 3 months, you're not going to go, and it's okay to cut it. If you have a streaming service that you have not even watched in a couple months, cancel it, because that money could be used towards paying off high consumer debt or investing in fractional shares in the stock market. things like that, putting it towards your emergency fund or your sinking funds. These are things that you could do. You don't think that little bit of dollars every month, like $15 you're paying for a gym membership, $20 you're paying for a magazine subscription, and you're not using it, you're not reading it, you're not taking advantage of it. Cancel it and put that money somewhere else. But you need to know your expenses. You need to know how much income you're bringing in every single month. And this goes into the next point, and that's debt. So how much debt do you have? A lot of us, like I mentioned a couple minutes ago, we have this idea of, oh, this is how much we're in debt. Yeah, I'm in debt $10,000. When you're in debt like $35,000 because you're not thinking about an interest accruing every single day, you're carrying a balance. Every single month, you're carrying a balance. So you need to go, if you don't know where to start, get your credit report. A lot of us have access. The government actually gives us a free copy of our credit report every year. I'll have the link down below. But pull your credit report, and trust me, the bureaus know how much debt you have, and it's on there. So you could start there, and that way you know your starting point, and you can make a plan to get out of debt if that's what you want to do. Another thing that kind of goes along with that, and this is another step, is your interest rates. And we've been talking about this a lot more because the Fed keeps increasing them. But if you have car loans, oh my goodness, if you have credit cards, you need to know how much your interest rates are. I know we love the high yield savings account every time it go up, and we're getting 5%, and that's wonderful. That does not hold a candle to how much you're paying if you're carrying credit card debt. Because what's the point of getting 5% in the high yield savings and you're paying 25% in interest on a revolving credit? Okay, so make sure you put a plan in place. But in order to do that, how much interest are you paying? And this is the perk of having good credit. So remember we talked about that a few minutes ago? When you have good credit, you can actually negotiate interest rates with these card companies. If you have good credit, you can get access to the nice cashback cards with no interest, or you can get the balance transfer credit cards. And, you could get access to the really, really good stuff when you have credit. But you need to know your interest rate because, again, a lot of people who build wealth, they use credit and debt the right way, like we did. Okay, buying rental properties, we carry mortgage balances. That's debt, but that's good debt in the eyes of the bank because they keep pre-approving us for more real estate, right? And it's because we keep our interest rate and we keep our credit score, in the right place. Our credit score is 820 something, which is great for owning 3 houses. And another number you need to know is your gross income. Not so much net, though that's important, but how much are you bringing in every single year annually before anything is taken out, right? So I know a lot of you say, what, Shalise, our goal is to get to 6 figures. Now you can get to 6 figures, with just your gross income. You can combine it with gross income and like bonus potential. Some people do their total compensation package. So like if they get stock, a bonus, a raise, and their just base rate, they will all combine that. But you need to know your numbers. And so even if you are paid hourly, still there's many calculators online where you can go in and put your information in so that you can see how much you are bringing in every year. Because again, remember I said a couple minutes ago, it's not so much. Sometimes you may not have an expense problem. You're cutting back everywhere you can. You're budgeting. You're doing as many savings challenges as you can. Sometimes it's an income problem. And it's okay to want to increase your income to achieve your goals. Okay. I'm not the person that believe that, having wealth makes you a bad person. It's the thought and intent, is how your heart is behind it. And so especially nowadays, because things are so much more expensive, sometimes, you have to figure out how to increase your income, side hustles, a second job, whatever it is, right? I run Mommy Trader. This is a side hustle for myself. My husband has a side hustle as well. So whatever you can do to increase your income to get to your goals faster. We have 3 more things left. So your savings rate, okay? This is not really so much a number, it's a percentage. So I fell in this trap when I first started on my journey because I was trying to match dollar for dollar what someone else is doing. Well, they saved or they invested $1,000. I need to do the same. But my income was not like theirs. So you should always approach it as a percentage. So I try to starting out, we try to just save 20 to 25% of our income and then increase it from there. Right now, on average, we're saving about 45% of our income, which is pretty good because we're still putting money into our properties. We still are enjoying life, going on vacations, all that fun stuff, date nights. And so, yeah, you can have a healthy balance. But Again, if you want to achieve retirement, if you're getting a late start, you got to increase your savings rate, and that includes investing inside of that. So getting your emergency fund up, getting your sinking funds up, getting your investments up, all of that good stuff, is factored into that savings rate. Also, you need to know what your investment portfolio is. Again, I share this every month on this channel. Do you track your investments? You need to, right? Why put all of your hard-earned money into the market and you have no idea what it's doing? You don't have to track it every day, but again, I track hours every month because this is very, very important to us. Many of us are the first person in our families to become a millionaire. So it's going to be more work on our parts because we're the first to do it. But again, I love tracking because I love to see month over month how the market, how our real estate, how, just everything we have is growing long term. Like I said, our net worth grew in 1 quarter over $45,000. That's amazing. But how would we have known that if we would not have been tracking it? We need to know those numbers. And then finally, and this is an easy one, I'm going to give you some homework with this. Your 401k and a match. So even if you have a 457, excuse me guys, or a 403b, if you get a match, you need to know, are you, a pension, if you're one of the few lucky ones who still have access to it, you need to actually look over that stuff every now and then, at least once a quarter. And if you get a match in your 401k, you need to know that. So sometimes I've talked to several of you who did not even know you got a match and your company was offering like a great match. One person I talked to, their company was offering dollar per dollar. Like if you put in $1, we'll match in $1. And I'm like, that's amazing. But they had no idea until I made a video about it. So again, go down to your HR department, check your quarterly statements or your monthly statements and see if you're getting a match, because that's free money. Yes, there's vesting schedules, but that's free money, okay? When it comes to helping you to catch up a little bit quicker on your retirement goals, right? So again, those are the 12 steps we took. I wanted to give you some detail. I know this video is a little longer than my usual, but again, we're coming on here and we're going to really break things down where you can understand them, because all of these steps played a part into getting us to where we are. And all of these steps are going to play a role into getting you into whatever your goal of financial freedom is. It doesn't have to be millionaire status, but if you want to buy a house, you need to know your credit score, right? You need to have an emergency fund. You need to know your net worth. You need to know how much debt you have and your interest rate. So again, guys, if you need help, I have all of these resources here that I created that I actually use. And my daughter used this because there's a Roth IRA tracker in here for kids, teens, right? They get their first job. Get them started on a Roth IRA, get them started young, right? This is about generational wealth, generational knowledge, and breaking the whole poverty line. So I'm going to get out of here. I have a study group that I am preparing for tonight. Shout out to all of you who signed up. We're going to be talking about dividend withdrawal strategies, taxes on dividends, best account for dividends, FIRE objectives like early retirement and all of that when it comes to accessing your dividends. So I can't wait to chat with you all tonight. If you want to sign up, information is always down below. But again, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Information for the books is down below as well. Make sure you check out my most recent podcast. I talk about how comparison robs you and your future when it comes to your finances. Really, really good episode I just posted yesterday, and I think you guys would enjoy it. So we are at 20 minutes. I'm going to get out of here. Have a good rest of your Sunday, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.